It's the rays of the world that give us hope for the future generations, right? But he's a quicker learner than I am, because it took me until age 40 to overcome my fear of leaving a very successful law practice as the senior energy attorney for Arizona Public Service Company, and instead becoming the head of the startup, highly risky APS Energy Services Commodity and Green Energy Company back in 1997. And I probably had a similar challenge to most of you, which is, okay, I'm undercapitalized against a field of huge competitors. Somebody might remember Enron. And, how can I do so much more with so much less, better, but without undue stress? Kind of raised words in my vernacular. And so we started 10 million in the hole, and I was shocked to learn that the secret was in the soft side. It was in conscious leadership. And that's how we got our competitive advantage. Now, there's a couple of concepts I want to share with you about conscious leadership, such as, what is it? Well, it's really acute awareness about how you uniquely think, feel, and believe about yourself and the world. What are your strengths, but what are your barriers that you can knock down to be all you can be? And there's studies that show that most successful people are the most self-aware. And that by age 35, which includes the majority of us, 95% of who you are, how you behave and decide is unconscious reactions. So we mind that unconscious realm. What is energy? Of course, it's the capacity to do work, but it's also the positive spiritual force flowing through you. And quantum physicists can show us now that 99.999% of everything, each of you, this room, is energy. So if you're like me, why do we focus on the material when the success secret is in how you consciously direct your energy? And then this is a no-brainer. You heard Ray, you know what the answer to conscious leaders' focus with their energy is, and of course it's higher purpose. Last but not least, what is servant leadership? I think it's one who inspires and leads in love. Now, if that's too squishy of a word for you, genuine caring, collaboration, community, connectivity. I like to think of it as the we in wellness. In contrast are some environments that I worked in that were command and control, fear-based, ego-driven, hierarchical, top-down. It's the I in illness. And what we found is that we had lower turnover because we had caring leaders investing in the whole person. And that reduces turnover, and that saves us money. And the number one reason people quit is because of dislike for their immediate boss. So things went so well, I became inspired to author a book on it. And so that you too can find these tips, you can go to my website, vickisandler.com, if you want to know more, because my time's going to run out here. So what does conscious leadership feel like? Now, if you would indulge me, I invite you to take out 90% of the stimulus in the world by closing your eyes just for a few moments and breathing deeply. Deep breathing is when you fill your belly and it's like water coming up a straw, have that breath come right into your chest and out through your nose. So let's just practice this deep breathing. In Western society, a lot of us don't ever do that. So in and out. Now, I'd like you to visualize your heart opening, and I would like you to deeply connect with 4 people around you and send them love. And then I'd like you to reflect on the people that made this event possible, the volunteers, the ASU students, Scott, his whole family, and send them appreciation. And then reflect on who got you here, your parents or grandparents, a mentor, your kids. See their face, hold that face in your hands, and give them a great big kiss. Now take a deep breath. Might feel awkward to you. And then smile. Open your eyes, please, and turn to the person next to you and thank them for being here supporting conscious capitalism. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
So really, that is what conscious capitalism feels like, because gratitude is the attitude of love. It's that simple. And Dr. Weil, if anybody knows him, Weil down in Tucson, the integrative medicine specialist, said of all his medical training and teachers, gratitude breathing is the best medical advice he could give you, and it creates wellness in your life. Now, what does it look like? Well, we tried to have a lot of fun. These are just a few people at APSES, and we did it by working smarter, not harder, becoming very aware of our weaknesses and filling those gaps in, and aligning ourselves the best we could with jobs. So that meant there was a lot of fluidity in people's job assignments. Now, how did we become so aware? Well, we already know everything is energy. You are your energy. He's got hot energy because he's living his passion, right here? And so that's what we all want. And the key is to match the frequency of your energy with what you want to create. Now, I know that sounds a little Western Zen, but it works. And so if you're in a slow, dense energy, unconsciously, where you're creating the very thing you fear. I know you've heard people give the thing they fear a lot of time, attention, and energy without them even knowing it, and what happens in their life. It's created. But if you learn to consciously direct your energy towards the higher frequency of peace and joy and consciousness, you will create that too. Now, there's the first week you came to APSES, you would take a test to enhance awareness. They're all good. I like the values-based ones because I learned from organizational psychologists, 80% of who you are is what you value, not your outward personality. And this is just one of the tests. This is the Barrett 7 Levels of Consciousness. You can take it for free at valuescenter.com. Or you can invest in the Ignite system. Or if you really want to know if you're living in a conscious realm, Dr. Fannin, where are you? Neuroscientist, he will brain map you. I had my brain mapped to see when I was whole brain or not. A lot of times not. But energy, a fundamental rule is it cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So on this test, when you take it, it will give dots about where your energy is going. If you're in the bottom, survival and selfishness, you can go to the middle, transform, and elevate your energy to one of selfless service. And as you change your energy and become your own chief energy officer, you not only change your life, but you do of those with whom you live and lead. And this is what happens. Conscious leadership pays in many ways, both monetarily, and I'm so grateful for all the people whose lives positively improved and transformed. Thank you.